Hello squad, welcome back to my channel. Today I am taking you thrifting with me. Actually, it's going to be consignment stores instead of thrifting, but it's still secondhand, still counts. I'm going to take you on a little thrift my Pinterest with me. I was originally inspired to do this idea by Emily Faith. I will link her channel down below. She has lots of great secondhand content, but I thought there are several pieces that I have wanted for fall for quite some time. And I've mentioned this on Instagram. If you don't follow me, that is at Yard Sale Squad. You can follow me there. But I have mentioned that there are several pieces that are just really hard to find secondhand. Most of my clothing comes from either yard sales or our local thrift store. And then every now and again, I will make the trek out to Plato's Closet, Goodwill, things like that. But for the most part, I do yard sales in our local thrift store. That works for basics, that works for comfortable things, that works for soft things. But then there are those times that I want something that's more special, that's more current. And there are a few pieces that I've wanted to add to my wardrobe for some time now that I just haven't found. So I'm just going to take you guys along with me. I'm headed to Plato's Closet first, and then I'm going to go to another location or two. If I end up not finding the things that I want, I'm also going to pop into a couple of retail stores and see if I can find anything on sale. So let's get packed up and I'll take you guys along. All right, so we are here. I am at Plato's Closet. Before I go in, I want to tell you the things that I'm looking for. So today my list includes skirts and dresses that are in a midi, flowy type length. I'm looking for fall colors. I'm also looking for small, very dainty but cute prints. I'm looking for shoes, especially a pair of booties or a pair of sandals just to replace my summer sandals. They have been falling apart for quite some time now and they need to be replaced. I'm also looking for a pair of gold hoops, something that I can pair with really anything that will be small and dainty, but not too small. And then the last two things are something in a rust color. I've had things in that color in the past, and I don't think there's currently anything in my fall wardrobe. So if I can find something, a shirt, a cardigan, a sweater that's in the rust color family, I would like to find that. And then the last thing is not a fall thing necessarily, but I would like to find a pair of white skinny jeans. I've been looking for a pair for a while, and it's hard to find them that fit correctly, that are not too thin. So those are my things that I'm looking for. I'm gonna head on in and see what I can find. This first top, right off the bat, I could tell that the length was going to be a problem. It was way too cropped. This next top, knowing my style, I could see why I picked it up. I could see that there were certain angles where I really liked it, and then there were certain angles where I really didn't like it. So I'm glad that I tried it on, but in the end, I ended up having to pass on this one. So this sweater here, there actually wasn't anything necessarily wrong with it. The color was fine, The fit was fine, but it was just fine, and for that price, I decided that I have other sweaters in my closet that will do the job. So this dress was actually something that I was really on the fence about. I liked the color. The fit is a little different. I know that it's not going to be to everybody's taste. So I don't know about this dress. It was kind of different. It was the midi length that I was wanting, but it did sort of have that prairie feel. And actually this is an extra small, but you can see there's a lot of give here in the waist. So I don't know. It does have pockets. So I don't know if you could tell when I was flipping through, but the long dresses and the jumpsuits were all hanging there together. And so I kind of had to sift through. This really wasn't something that was on my list, but I figured I would try it on anyway. I felt it was just okay. It was a little ill-fitting, and so I didn't pick this one up. And the pants. I thought that they had some potential on the rack. I thought that they were kind of cool looking. But for me personally and for my shape, emphasizing my middle is not what I want to do. And these just didn't really do my body the justice that it deserves. So I did not get them. This cardigan, again, I thought it was fine. I like the rust color. That was something that I was looking for. But in the end, I just ended up deciding to pass on this one. All right, so I am back in the car. I bought 2 items and I spent $24.67. If you guys follow me or have followed me in the past, you know that's a lot for me to spend on 2 items. I usually bring home a whole haul full of stuff for that much. But I have to remind myself that this is something that I've been wanting for a while, and that it's something that it's hard for me to find secondhand elsewhere. So I did end up buying the dress. That was the thing that I liked most and that I felt like was most unique and could be the biggest asset to my wardrobe out of everything else. Everything else was just kind of fine. And I did remember that I do actually have a rust colored shirt that has white stripes. I thought back to my capsule wardrobe from last fall. Everything's been packed away for months, and so I sort of forgot about that one. So they do have a 7-day return policy as long as I keep the tags on. So I plan on taking it home. I'm gonna style it and see how it looks. And if I end up not thinking that it's the best, you know, if it ends up being like a little too prairie, then I will bring it back. Personally, I liked it. I felt good in it, but I want to get it home and, you know, try it on, look at it in my space with my things, and also see what my husband thinks. If it ends up working out, I think it'll be a really great thing for fall pictures. I did also buy a pair of earrings. They weren't exactly what I was looking for, but I do think that they're pretty. The lighting here is very harsh, but they are a gold pair and they kind of dangle, and I'm excited to try those. I would assume the return policy on these is still the same, so if I end up not liking them, I can bring them back as well. Okay, so I have moved on to the next consignment store at this point, and I was at least pleased to see more of the small prints that I wanted. The dresses weren't necessarily in the length that I was looking for, but while I was there, I decided to go ahead and try them on. So this first one, I didn't feel it was horrible. The pattern was fine. I just didn't really love the way that it gathered around the waist. I was even fine with the neckline. I thought that it looked really pretty, that nice little detail there. But it just felt sort of like this middle section didn't know what to do. And plus, it wasn't really the length that I was looking for. This dress looks great at first glance until I back up and you realize that it is extremely short. And it also had that drop waist. You can see here that I'm showing that it just kind of hits me at my widest area. For me personally, if something's going to gather, I would like for it to be gathered at my natural waist, which is what the last dress did, but it just bunched a lot. Okay, this dress, it wasn't bad, and honestly, if it had been longer, I probably would have considered getting it. It was just too short. This dress, we were kind of more along the same line. Red is not really a color that I do super often. It's just not really like one of my colors that looks the best on me. So maybe that was the reason why I didn't get it. Maybe it was the neckline on it. I'm not sure, but I just ended up thinking that maybe this one would be better left for someone else. This dress actually was my favorite fit of the entire bunch. The length was exactly where I wanted it to be, but you can tell that this is a wrap style dress, and when I sat down to test how the wrap would do, it really wasn't very practical, and I thought that I would just end up fussing with it and not feeling super comfortable. This task is proving to be hard. So I think it's important for me to say and to remind people that, you know, I look at secondhand first, but then if I don't find what I'm looking for there, and if it's something that I really want, then I will go somewhere else and I'll buy it retail. That's not my first choice, and it's not what I go to initially, but sometimes that's what happens. And I get so many comments from people saying, how do you find this cute stuff? Every time I go, I don't find anything. And I've said it before, but that happens to me all the time. Today, I have spent a considerable amount of time out, and I found 2 things, and neither of which I'm sure I'm going to keep. All of the dresses here had something wrong with them. They were either too tight, too short. The last one that I put on was my favorite one. I thought that it looked the best on me. I felt the most like myself in it. And then I noticed, you know, with the wrap style, maybe I should try to sit down. And of course, immediately it parts and your legs pop through. And I just thought, you know, it's not the most practical. It's not what I'm going to feel the most confident in. So I steered clear of that. So then I went over to look at the earrings. They had a few earrings there. I think the way they do it at this particular consignment store is instead of consigning earrings, they just have their own line of jewelry, because it all looked very like organized and streamlined, and there were multiples of the same item. But there was an earring that the back was not on fully, and it was kind of leaning forward in the packaging, and I thought, I'm just going to fix it. And I thought what I was feeling on the back was the back of the earring, and I was just going to slide it on. Apparently there was no back there, or it's either down in the packaging, so anyway, I was trying to fix the earring so that it wouldn't fall out, just being a good person. And I stabbed myself with the post of the earring, and it really didn't feel great. So anyway, I'm done here. I'm not sure if there's an Old Navy in the area. I'm gonna go there next, and if not, then I'm just gonna go home. So I did find an Old Navy, and initially there were quite a few styles that appealed to me. While this wasn't the color or the fabric that I was really looking for, I was just intrigued, and I wanted to see how the shape and the fit looked on me. I liked it, but I wasn't a huge fan of the price tag, and that is something that you have to keep in mind when you're shopping full price. There wasn't a sale on this dress, so it would have cost me $40. And unfortunately, they didn't have this dress in my size, but I just wanted to show it for reference because this was the closest I saw all day to what I was looking for as far as fit, feel, cut, everything. This was really the closest that I found. It was just too big. Like most things in life, shopping secondhand is a craft. It takes time and it takes experience, and it sure takes a lot of patience. So, like I said, if you go and you're looking for something specific in mind, you may not find it. Sometimes it's just that way. But just know that the more you do it, the better you get. And the more you do it, the more you learn what things you can practically find secondhand and what things you can't. I promise if you give secondhand shopping a try, you will have more victories than you have defeats, and it's really great to have that reward at the end of your shopping experience to know that you don't have to pay full price. I hope this video inspired you. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know if you like this format. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be talking to you in the next one.